So guys, welcome back in our another stream. Just yesterday we had learned about the Elon Musk, his determination and his loneliness, and about the his father and mother divorce, and about his bully life of in his entire school days. And just like Ilona had gone through a very crucial of the entire situation. Like there was an environment who is describing the terrority and who is describing the how dark is that actually. Elon has gone through a many more of like hell of things here that truly uh, portraying and truly referring that Elon is everything about his own mindset. Elon has a strongest mindset ever in the world. Nobody could be like Elon Musk because nobody has the pay or nobody has the mindset and selective thinking levels at his point at his level. So today we are going to learn the seeker. The seeker means Elon is finding out and exploring the everything about his minor and major, sorry, some of the major of his goal. So let's learn this book again. This is a day four, and yeah, this is a day four. Yeah, this is a day four. Today we're gonna learn about this is gonna learn about the seeker. Seeker is about the fourth chapter of this entire book, and rest of the book is almost had a five yeah four 600 of pages, and we will read out almost 400 out of the 600 until the year of the end. So let's try to learn about the so guys, so let's go. Today we are going to learn. Last time we have done the divorce and life with the father, and yeah, we have learned in a one stream about the two of the topic is a life with the father and divorce about his mother and father. And life with the father, there have they described about his life with his father, the Errol Musk, and his three children, the Tosca, Kimball, and Elon. And three of them is wanna live with live with their father very much because they love their father. They don't want to let him alone and lonely. So that's all thing we have learned yesterday. And let's go the seeker. That what he had discovered the first time and what he gonna explore ahead at the time. So let's learn. And here we got a beautiful image of Elon childhood. That is the Blaster game when he made a first time. You can see here the your right over your sign, right over your hand, nothing. Yeah, though there is a Elon image, and we don't have to waste the time. Let's learn the lesson. Today we are trying to learn the better than last time. This is our everyday objective that we should learn every time and read every time better than last time. But always the few words going too hard to me, so it's not good. So let's try to learn. The existential crisis. Existential crisis means the present crisis when Elon was a childhood and when he turned the teenager or just like near to the adult. So let's see what happened there. So let's go. Existential crisis. When Musk was a young, his mother started talking to him to a Sunday school at the local Anglican church, where she was a teacher, and it did not go well. She would tell her class stories from the Bible and he would question them. What do you mean? The waters, the lovers, and fishes? He countered that they cannot materialize out of the nothing. Having been baptized, he was expected to take a communion, but he began questioning that as well. I took the blood and blood of the Christ, which is a weird when you are the kid. He says, I said, what the hell is this? Is this a weird metaphor for the cannibalism? My decided to let the Elon stay home and read on a Sunday morning. His father, who was more God-fearing, told Elon that there were things that could not be unknown to our limited sense and minds. There are atheist pilots. He would say, Elon would minds. Elon would add that there are nothing atheistic to the at the exam time. But Elon came to believe that early on science could explain the things, and so there was no need to the conjure of the creator or deity that would intervene in our lives. When he reached his teens, it began the he began to know. Uh, him that the something was missing, both the religious and the scientific explanation of the existence. He says did not address the really big question, such as the where did the universe come from and why does it exist. Physics could teach everything about the universe except why that led to the what he calls the adolescent existential crisis. I began to trying to figure out what the meaning of the life and the universe was. He says I got a real depressed about it, like maybe life may have no meaning. Like a good bookworm, he addressed this question through a reading. At the first, he made a typical mistake of an anxiety adolescent and read the existential philosophers such as Natizas and Hazelberg and a sop okay, the Schopenhauer. This had the effect of turning confusion into despair. I do not recommend reading the Nasties as a teenager. He says that fortunately he was saved by the science fiction and that wellspring or the wisdom for the game-playing kids and intellects the hyperdrive. He plowed through the entire science fiction section in his school, and local libraries there pushed the librarians to the order more. One of his favorite was the Robert Henderson The Moon is a Harsh Mistress novel about the lunar panel colony. It is managed by the supercomputer nicknamed the Mike, and that is able to acquire the self-awareness and self-humor. Computer sacrifice its life during the rebellion at the panel colony, and book explore the issues that it would become the central of the most life. Will the artificial intelligence develop in where that benefits and protect the humanity, or will the machines develop the intention there become the threat to the humans? That topic is central and to the become the another of his favorite and Isaac Asimov robot stories that tells of formulate laws of the robotics that are designed to make sure robots do not get out of control. In a final a scene of 1985 novel Robot and Empire Asimov expounds the most fundamental of these rules, the zero to law. The robot may not harm humanity or through interaction allow humanity to come to harm. That heroes of Asimov the Foundation series of a book develop the plan to send a settler and distant regions of a galaxy that preserve human consciousness in the face of the impending dark age. More than 30 years later, Moss unleashed the random tweet about how these ideas motivated his quest to make a human spacefaring species to harness the artificial intelligence to be at the service of a human. Foundation series Zero Law are the fundamental creation of this SpaceX. Wow. Okay, there was a written about the existential crisis. Means that when Elon was a young, he believed in a science more than a of religious material. Like if you say to him about to Jesus Christ, then he would reply you that God is just a tangible thing, and God is like invisible of being. He also control the human, but God is also is a part of your imagination. If you imagine something, if you imagine strongly about something else, then that will be a reality for you. So this is a similar way that Elon had a thought. Elon had a thought in his mind about the God, and just after that, um, they have a written about the how the Elon does believe in a more a science fiction, and he wants to be preserve the humanity for to preserve and save the human consciousness across the universe. And just from the you can see here from the Asimov. Asimov is a like a comic book writer. Asimov had wrote about the humanity preservedness when the artificial takeover. So there the Asimov had said that artificial intelligence would not be a threat for the entire humanity. That would be a tool at the point, but this not would be a the harmful substance and harmful objective for us. So that is all about we have learned existential crisis. It's defining it defined that existential crisis means like Elon was there, who is a guy who is a boy who is thinking about a science fiction and physics science, and he do not relate that thing to the religious material of the content of entire holy crisis. So that is all, and let's go into learn right up there. The right topic is the high the hiker hiker's guide. So let's learn about the hiker guides. Here we have a described about the Elon has a clan that like yeah, it's about the anything about he thought about the galaxy, space and universe. Let's go in. The science fiction book that most influenced his wonder years was Douglas Adams' The Hiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The jaunty and the vital helped to shape the Elon philosophy and added a dollop and troll humor to his serious mind. The Hiker's Guide, he says, helped me out of the existential depression, and I soon realized it was amazingly funny. It's all of sort of the subtle ways. The story involves a human named Arthur Dent, who is rescued by the passing this spaceship in a second before the Earth is destroyed by an alien civilization. Is building the hyperspace highway along with his alien rescuer. Dent explores the various nooks and crannies of a galaxy which is run by the two-headed president, and who had turned the unfathomability into an art form, and denizens of the galaxy are trying to figure out the answer, the ultimate question of his life and the universe, everything. universe and everything. They build like a supercomputer, but after the 7 million years spot outs, the answer, the 42, when that provokes a befundled howl, howl, and the computer replies that quite definitely the answer. Answer, I think the problem, to be quite honest with you, is that wait. Okay, is that you have never actually known what the question is. The lesson stuck with the musk I took from the book that we need to extend the scope of the consciousness so that we are better able to ask the question about the answer, which is a answer, he says. The hiker guides, the combined with the most later immersion into the tabletop simulations games, led to the lifelong fascination and tantalizing the thought that we might merely the pawns in a simulation devised by the some higher order beings. As a Douglas Adams writes, there is a theory which states that if we ever anyone discovers exactly what the answer is for the why it is here, and it will instantly disappear, be the replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. There is another theory which states that this has already happened. Okay, this is like a matrix everywhere. Elon was in a matrix and he thinking about the every possibility he could take for the preserve the humanity. That is all. So let's know about the Blaster game, which is the world's billionaire made on his teenage age. The Blaster game is about the space game. Okay, he made it first and earned $500 at his bank, and is transferred to the mom bank. Okay, yeah. Blaster. In the late 1970s, the role-playing game the Dungeons and Dragons became a popular obsession among the global tribe of the geeks. Ilona Kimball and their Reeve cousins immersed themselves in the games, which involves sitting around the table and guided by the character sheets and the roll of the dice, embarking on the fantasy adventure. One of the players served the dungeon master, referring the action. Elon usually played the dungeon master and surprisingly did it with a gentleness. Even a kid, Elon had a whole bunch of the different demoners and the moods. Says his cousin Peter Rive, as a dungeon master, he was incredibly patient, which is not in my experience. Always is a default personality, if you know what I mean. It happens sometimes, it's beautiful when it does. Instead of pressuring his brother and cousin, he would turn every analytically to describe the options they had in each situation. Together, they entered the tournament and Johannesburg, at the which they were the youngest player. Tournament dungeon master assigned their mission. You have to save this woman by figuring out who is a game, who in the game is that bad guy killing him. Elon looked at the dungeon master and said, I think you are the bad guy. And so they killed him. Elon was right. And the game, which was supposed to be a last few hours and was over, the organizer accused them of some of cheating and the first tried the Danny them to the prize. But Musk appealed and this guy were idiot. He said it was obvious. Much so, his first computer around at the time he turned 11. He was in a shopping mall, Johannesburg, and he stood there for a minute just staring at the. I had read a computer magazine. He says, but I had never actually seen the computer before. As a with the motorcycle, he bounded his father to get him on one. Viral was bizarrely averse to the computer, claiming they were good only for the time-wasting games, not engineering. Elon saved his money and from the job and bought the Commodore VIC-20, one of the earliest personal computers. It could play games and Galaxian Alpha Blaster, in which player attempts to protect the Earth from the alien invader. The computer came with the course how to program in a BASIC that involved in 60 hours of the lesson. I did it in the 3 days, barely sleeping. He remembers the few months later he tore out ad for the conference personal computer university and told his father he wanted to attend. Again, his father backed. It was an expensive seminar about $400 and not meant for children. Elon replied that it was essential and just stood next to his father, staring over the next few days. Elon would pulled the ad out of his pocket and renewed his demand. Finally, his father was able to talk the university into giving a discounted price for the loan to stand back when it all came to him pick up him up at the end of he found engaging with the three of professor. This boy must be get a new computer. Wow, this is unbelievable. One of them declared after he acceded, after he aced the programming skill test at his school, he got the IBM PC XT, taught himself the program using the Pascal and Turbo C++ at the age 13. He was able to create the video game which he named the Blaster, using the 3 lines of the BCIC and some simple assembly language to get the graphics to work. He submitted it to the Computer PC and Office Technology magazine. It appeared in December 1984 issue with the short introduction explaining in a game that you have to destroy the alien space fighter freighters with which is carrying deadly hydrogen bomb instead of being a machines, although it's unclear what the status being the machine is. Concept sounds good. The magazine paid him the $500. He proceeded to sell it to the other games, and one like a Donkey Kong, the other simulating the roulette and the blackjack. Thus began a lifelong addiction to the video game. If you are playing with the Elon, you play pretty much non-stop until the finally you had to eat. Peter Reeve says one on a one trip the Durban Elon figured out how to hack the games in a small. He was able to hotwire the system so that they could play for the hours without using the con. Wow. He then came up with the grander idea. The cousins could create a video games arcade of their own. He knew exactly which games were most popular, so it seems to be a sure thing. Elon says he figured out how to cash the flow and could finance the machine. When the boys tried to get city permits, they were told they needed someone over the 18 to sign application. Kimball, who had to fill out the 30 pages of the form, decided that they could not ask the real. He was just a heart of human. Kimball says, so we went to the Russ and paid his dad and he flipped out. Basically shut the whole thing down. What the hell? Wow. Unbelievable about the Elon, yeah. Like at the first time we saw existential crisis from the beginning of this chapter, the seeker. In the seeker, we have learned today is most beautiful thing about life. I got the goosebumps in my head, like imagining that situation. In existential crisis, when the Elon was not believing and like he's still not believing in the religious and all other people who surrounded him, they kept telling to the Elon, believe on a God or nothing else. He believed in a science fiction and he wanted to save the humanity by reading a book and comics. And and after we saw, and after we have read, The Hiker's Guide. Guides is especially about the book that Elon had read. That book is actually compiles lots of things about the universe and galaxy and about the saving the humanity from the alien invasion or from the natural crisis. So it's just like saving the humanity over that. And Hiker's Guide, that is the reason why we call it the hiker guides. Okay, so then after we has then right after it we saw and we have learned the blaster. To the late 1970s, the role-playing game The Dungeon of the Dragon became Elon favorite. Yeah, not became Elon favorite, just it became the most obsession in the 90s, 70s. Means just 5 years, like yeah, 5 years, 6 years before the Elon birth, I think 7 years, 8 years before the Elon birth. And when he had done when he had done the everything about to learn the programming language, the C++, Java, C++, and Packle of the language. This is called assembly language for the adding some graphics in our the games. He learned the programming language at a German book, and he was wanting to get a computer, but his father believes that a computer is for good for the wasting of time playing the games and just spending your time at the useless place. So Elon had to learn his entire programming language, of course, and when so there is some professor who is interacting with the Elon. They had said that they had told to the Elon that this boy should get a computer. Then when he got a computer, then after he made almost a game which named Blaster. Blaster is about the game who is just saving us from the alien invasion. Okay, so in a game we have the beautiful weapons, the hydrogen bomb and beam machine, and the status beam machines is likely this was a beautiful concept of the gaming. So that is all about the Elon, and this is a beautiful ever I ever read today. And next is a escape velocity. I think this is short. We can read this right now. We can read this right now. And here we got the beautiful, cute an image of Elon. Let's see. Love this man here. Escape velocity. So escape velocity. Did you understood? I mean, did you understand what is about it? When Elon had leave from the Pretoria, South Africa. That is all. We will learn it right now. I know everything. Escape velocity means that. So let's learn. At the age 17, after the 7 years, okay, Jacqueline and Heidi. This is a topic of this our in a escape velocity. At the age 17, after 7 years of the living with his father, Elon realized that he would have to escape. Life with him, he had become increasingly unnerving. There were times when Elon would jovial and fun, but occasionally he would become dark, verbally abusive, and posed by fantasies and conspiracies. His mood could change on a dime. Tosca says everything could be a super, then within a second he would be a vicious and spring abuse. It was almost of it he had split personality. One minute he would be a super friendly, Kimball says. And next he will be screaming at you, the lecturing you for hours. Later 2 or 3 hours, well, he forced you to just stand there, calling you worthless, pathetic, making a scaring, evil comments, and not allowing you to leave. Elon Cousins became the reluctant to the visit. You never knew what you were in for. Peter Reeve says sometimes it all would be like, I just got some new motorbike, let's jump on them. At other times we would be angry, threatening, and oh fuck, make you a clean toilets. With a toothbrush, when the Peter tells me this, he pauses for the moment and then beat hesitantly notes that Elon sometimes has a similar mood swings. When Elon is a mood, Elon is a good mood. It's like a coolest and funniest thing in in the world. And when it's a bad mood, he goes real dark. You just really walking on an eggshell. One day Peter came over to the house and found Hero sitting to his underwear and kitchen table and plastic roulette wheel. It was trying to see the whether microwaves could affect him. He would spin the wheel, mark down the result, then spin it and put it on a microwave over and record the result. It was nuts, Peter says. Elon had become convinced and he could find a system for the beating the game. He dragged Elon to the Pretoria casino many times, dressing him up and that he looked older than a 16 and had him write down numbers while the hero used the calculator hidden under the bidding cards. Elon went to the library and read a few books on the roulette and even wrote the roulette simulation program on his computer. He then tried to convince his father that none of his schemes would work, but Errol believed that he had found a deeper truth about the probability, and um, and he later described it to me as multi-total simulation, what is it called, the randomness. Well, when I asked him to explain it, and he said there are no random events or chance. All events follow the Fibonacci sequence like a mad bro said. I went on to describe the relationship between the chance and the Fibonacci the sequence. This is the object for a scientific paper. If I share it, all activities relying on a chance will be ruined, and I am in a doubt of the doing that. I'm not quite sure what all that means, and neither is Elon. I don't know how to. He went from the beginning get at the engineering and believing in a witchcraft, but he somehow made the evaluation. It all can be very forceful and occasionally convincing that he changes the reality around him. Kimber says he literally wake up things. He actually believes his own false reality. Sometimes Erol would make a sweeping assertion to his kid that were unconnected to the facts, such as the in setting that the United States and President and consider the divine and cannot be criticized. At other time, he would give the fanciful tales and cast himself either as the hero and a victim, all would be asserted with such a conviction that Elon and Kimball would find themselves the question their own view of the reality. Can you imagine going up like that? Kimber says it was a mental torture and it in affects you. You ended up asking, what is a reality? I found myself getting caught up in a old tangled web in a series of calls and emails over the course of 2 years. He gave the varying accounts of the relationship with his feeling for his kid Mai and his stepdaughter with whom he would have children more on that later. Uh, Hogar. Elon and Kimball have developed their own narrative about the. I was like, I doesn't accord with the facts. He claims they're the tales and about his being psychologically abused, and he insists and told the police place their mother. But when I press him, he tells me to go with their version. I don't care if they choose a different bit narrative as long as they are happy. I have no desire for it to be my word value versus their let them have the floor. When talking about his father, Elon will sometimes let loose a laugh, somewhat harsh and bitter one. See, similar to the laugh that his father has. Some of the words Elon uses, the way he stares and his sudden transition from the light to the dark to the light. Remind he's a family member of it all simmering inside of him. I would see the shade of these horrible stories Elon told me several ways of his own behavior, says the Justin, Elon's first wife. It made realize how difficult it is not to be shaped by what we grew up with, even what that's not we want. Every now and then she died say something like you turning up into your father. She explained it was about the code phrase that warned him to he was going into the realm of the darkness. But Justin says Elon, and who was always emotionally invested in their children, different from his father fundamental way. With the Elon, there was sense really bad things and could happen around him. Whereas a zombie apocalypse happened, you would want a zombie in a line. He can be very harsh, but at the end of the day, you can trust him to find the very people. In order for that to happen, he had to move on. It was time to leave South Africa. That's what I have said it the first time. Here's we have to describe the Jacqueline. I think Jacqueline and Heidi is a nature of Elon Musk. Elon River Musk is a father of Elon Musk. Okay, so Jacqueline and Heidi is just like a harsh and very bad of your mood when you got and you not keep your entire character at the constant of the state. So this always happened with the hero that when he had the transitioning of his mood and of his entire behavior, he was not stayed good to his children. No, he's not stayed bad to his children. He being so watery sometimes. Like when the water level up and when the water come down, when the water lower, means in a bottle, water is not be a constant. You will shake the water, then water will be shaken. You shock the water, and the water will be shaken. So just like his mind is not a constant at the point. You can see over here, like we have a nothing to say that Elon is everything about his own built mindset. Like yeah, anyway, I mean the hero is sometimes being so rude against his children, Tosca, Kimball, Elon, but sometimes he being very good to his children. And he's so like very crucial man, ever I said. Even I got even after that, when Elon got married to the Justin Musk, Justin became the wife of Elon for the first time. And Justin had told us that Elon is becoming into his father mood and his father behavior, like to his children, like the genetic of his father has shared with the Elon means Elon can be behave like his father. This is a nature. This is a natural thing we can actually see here in the Elon life. That Elon is sometimes behaving very rude and very like strongly But sometimes he would be a funny, he would be a happy, he would be carrying you, he would be kissing you, he would be do anything for you. But sometimes his mind, when he not in the mood, he became so worst. Ever you think? This is the early indication that how to you should keep your mindset with Elon Musk when you meet him in a reality. That is all. So the second topic is in this Jacqueline Hyde, I think the escape velocity. And last is the point he escaped from the South Africa. So let's see what is the next to the Canada trip. Canada to America. Let's see. The one-way ticket. The Musk began the pushing the both of his mother and father and trying to convince them to move to the United States. I said, and take him and his sibling. The neither was interested. So then I was like, well, I just going to go myself. He says he's the first tried to get a U.S. citizenship on the grounds that his mother father had been born in a Minnesota, but that failed because his mother had been born in Canada, had never claimed the U.S. citizenship. So he concluded that getting the Canada might be an easier first step. He went to the Canadian consulate and his own got application from for the passport, filled them out not only for the himself but for his mother and brother and sister, but not father. But their approval came through in late May. I would have to leave left the morning, but airlines ticket were cheaper back than if you bought them 14 days in advance or what. He says I had to wait those 2 weeks. One June on 11, 1989, about 2 weeks shy of his 18th birthday, and he had the dinner at Pretoria of finest restaurant, the synthesis but with his father siblings, who then drive him at the Johannesburg airport. You will be back in a few months. Elon says he's told him in contemptuously you will never be a successful. As usual, Elon has his own version of story in which he was the action hero according to him. Elon became seriously depressed during his senior year of high school. His despair reached his head on Republic Day, May 31, 1989. His family was preparing to watch the parade, but Elon refused to get out of bed. His father leaned against the big desk in the alone room and with the well-used computer asked, "Do you want to go and study in America?" Elon popped up. Yes, he answered. It all claims it was my idea until then he had never said he wanted to go. What the hell? Say I said, well, tomorrow you should go and see the American culture act, Jay, and who was friend of the mine from the Rotary. His father account, Elon says, was just another of the elaborate fantasies, is casting him as the hero. In this case, it was probably forced by the Republic Day 1989. Elon had already gotten a Canadian passport and purchased his airline ticket. Wow, this is just a beginning of his way to go America. And just like in Escape Velocity, we have learned about his father mood and behavior. And then we have learned, wait a minute, I just want to say, then we have learned about his escape from the Pretoria and South Africa. And he had a thought to the move to the America for to learn something else. And he had told to his father and mother, but mother said, I don't have the USA citizenship, so you should go to the Canada first and acquire the citizenship of USA, but first acquire the ticket of USA to go there. So at the next time we will see and we will learn the Canada. The Canada means when Elon was in Canada, how he did everything for to get the USA citizenship and anything that we are thinking of. So I'm very being sweaty and like excited for the next topic. I love to read that thing over and over the hours and hours. I would be a literally I would be read this book for the whole day if I ever get a if I ever got a chance to read. So guys,